In St. Paul, there still has not been a deal to avoid a teacher's strike. Danny Spiewak is live in St. Paul tonight to fill us in on late discussions happening between the union and the district. Lots of families waiting for word, Danny.
They are, Julie, and these tense negotiations are still going on here behind closed doors in St. Paul. This latest round of talks has been going almost 3 hours straight with no resolution, and if there is no agreement reached in the overnight hours, then the teachers are going to strike tomorrow and the school is going to close tomorrow, and that is leaving thousands of families in limbo as they have no idea if their kids are going to be heading off to the various schools tomorrow morning. So there is some tremendous uncertainty here across the St. Paul Public Schools. To give you a little bit of a better idea of some of the issues that are at play here, the teachers are demanding in their new contract better mental health services for students, more support for multilingual students, expanded restorative practices to improve racial equity, among other things. And the union said in a news conference today that the district offered to invest in these final two items by taking money from teacher wage increases, which the union did not like, so they made a counter proposal this afternoon.
Currently, the ball is in their court. We could settle this tonight, avert a strike, and be back with our students tomorrow. We know that's a possibility, and we're hoping that's the outcome. If not, we will walk the line tomorrow for our kids.
Now this afternoon, the district offered to go to arbitration to let an outside judge basically become an outside arbiter in the process and make the decision. The superintendent saying, quote, "I don't believe a strike is good for anyone, especially our students. I also don't believe a strike is inevitable. And interest arbitration is a way to ensure kids are in school while the negotiation process continues." Now, the union rejected arbitration, saying they don't want an outsider making the decision here. So where does this leave the thousands of parents here in St. Paul that are waiting to see if there's going to be school tomorrow? Well, if school is closed tomorrow, the district is still going to be providing meals, breakfast and lunch, for some of the many kids that really rely on those meals to get food. The city and Mayor Melvin Carter also announced that they were going to step in and provide meals and more recreational center activities for students as well. And one more note, on Thursday there will be a kids space opening up if that strike is still continuing. So the district is making plans, but a lot of uncertainty here heading into tomorrow morning, Julie.
All right. Thank you so much, Danny.